Have you guys ever bowled on some wet lanes, some heavy oil conditions? Well, these are my 3 best bowling balls that I use on those lane conditions to improve my score and to shoot 1,300s. All right, so we're gonna start with the ball that I actually have drilled the most of. I've drilled 6 of these, and it is the one, so for me, we're gonna call it the 6. The RG and all that facts up here. As you can see, it hooks too much. Too much sauce. This one's not on. I didn't turn the camera on. And we're back. I thought I didn't hit on.
Is this ball symmetric or asymmetric?
It's gonna be an asymmetric ball. It doesn't come out of the box super chalky. However, I have hit some with some surface to make them really at the top end of my bags. I could throw all of these on this house shot, as well as some of the sport shots with some really heavy conditions where you're struggling to get your ball to hook. Hey! Oh, so that's definitely something that you might see on the house shot just because these are at the upper end of my bag. They're not gonna retain a lot of energy down lane. So you're gonna see me rotating it a little more than usual. It's just my standard little weaker layout. It's gonna be like a 5-inch pin for me. For house shots, this one is definitely gonna be game 1 and really paying attention to game 2 or even the back couple frames of game 1, paying attention, is it really hooking down lane or is it kind of dying and looking like it's gonna leave a 7-pin or leave a corner pin? How's that not hit it? That's ridiculous. This is why bowling sucks. I'm kidding, I love bowling. I literally love bowling.
Only two-handers bitch about that hit.
That came across at 100 miles an hour, but I'm looking for a hit like that. That would have been a lucky break if it struck. It was a flat 7, so I'm looking maybe, I'm gonna move 2 off that, rotate a little more and see what happens. And once those moves of trying to get my ball to hook more down lane doesn't work, then I'm looking to switch balls, and I'll show you guys what ball's up next right after this shot. You saw me move in, slow down, and rotate it a lot more to get that back end reaction. I'll throw one more just like that to see if it continues to hook down lane, and then I'm gonna switch to a little quicker, but still really big bowling ball.
That's what we call a combo move.
That's the pro move. Move in, slow down, add a little bit of rotation. Money. Now, next ball up, once that one starts hitting a little flat, I'm staying asymmetrical. I'm going really bright with this brutal collision. Slightly stronger layout, a little lower of a pin. This one's even a little slower than the one, I might say. It's not as responsive in the back end of the lane. However, it definitely doesn't pick up quite as early as the one. So not only is it a slight amount weaker, but it's also a little bit smoother in the back end of the lane. This is gonna be much like that other one. It's gonna be that game 1.5 piece. It's gonna definitely control the pocket. And we're looking for it to flat 7, where I might need to start moving away from it and looking at maybe a quicker ball. And if you guys want to help us out, don't be afraid. Like this video, send us a comment down below, and most importantly, if you like a lot of the videos we do, don't be afraid. Click that subscribe button and help us run that number up to 90,000 because we're trying to give away some of these when we get to 90,000. So when you guys bowl either league or tournaments in a newer center, kind of like this one, where the surface is pretty new and it doesn't have a lot of games, not a lot of wear and tear, these balls are definitely going to be the ones that are going to come into play, maybe even deeper than a game 1 and 2. Maybe you're even going to be able to throw these games 3 and 4 as well. And because this one is weaker, I'm definitely able to play. I'm standing 4 left of where I finished with the 1. My ball speed is higher, but I'm definitely standing a little further left and able to play a straighter. I know you guys are gonna blast me in the comments, but this is a straighter angle with this ball. Oh. Smooth balls, trip 6, sharp balls, 6-8. Simple. As I wrap this ball up and I go to a quicker ball, I want you guys to let me know what asymmetric ball do you guys have in your bag right now, whether it's league, tournaments, whether you just bowl once a week and it's your only ball. Let me know what ball is kind of at the top of your bag, because these 3 are at the top of mine. Beautiful. Feel like I could strike with that ball from that angle all day. Now the next ball up, as promised earlier, the Columbia 300 CUDA. The other 2 were a little shinier for me throwing them. This one's almost brand new. It's gonna be a symmetrical ball with a pin almost identical to that of the Brutal Collision. This one's gonna definitely be a snappier shape or a more continuous shape down lane, where I think if I was gonna move all the way right on the lane and really open the lanes up, out of these 3 balls, this one would be the one that would continue the most down lane and keep trying to strike once I start flat 7ing. So if I flat 7 with those 2, I'm coming to a ball like this Columbia 300 CUDA. This one better not flat 7. After that speech, I can't.
It was close.
That was close. The other 2 have like a lane shine on them. Like, this one definitely has surface on it, or just the original out-of-box surface still. I don't know, everyone keeps telling me this ball is sick. I was gonna try to incorporate it in my arsenal, and this is my way of testing it out. Ugh. So I moved. With the Brutal Collision, I was playing pretty straight. With the one, I was kind of deep. And this one, I've moved right, same spot as I finished off with the one, throwing it slower, getting my hand around it. And I'm gonna throw this one even slower to see if it still comes back. I'm gonna go 2 and 1, a little slower ball speed, and see if it still hooks.
I like the Brutal Collision the best of the 3 ball reactions you've had.
Yeah, and I also like the Brutal Collision the best of the 3, because the one and this CUDA definitely are trying to 7-pin from that deeper angle. And I really think that's just a characteristic of the house. This house likes to play hard and straight. So actually, I'm gonna try that CUDA now from that Brutal Collision angle, harder, straighter, a little more up the back release. How does that not strike? That one hooked a lot, but that was exactly what I expected, because like I said, that one's gonna be like the quickest or the sharpest, most continuous down lane. So playing from a straighter angle where there's no oil, it's obviously gonna jerk off that spot. It's gonna jerk off that spot and make a hard motion, not to the pocket. You can leave that in. So I'm gonna move 4 to the right, because obviously where I threw the collision was not the answer. So I'm gonna go 4 right, keep the speed fast. That's close, that's close. So now, because it has some surface, I am gonna loft it a little bit, which is my like pro league move that I do every game 3 of league. I like that shape a little more than when I laid it down. I'm just gonna slow the speed down a little bit to try and get it to pick up earlier, but still not as early as when I was laying it down. This is like the league move I do every single week. This brought my game 3 average up from 215 last year to 230 this year. When people go to league, they might not think, oh, I need to play lanes front to back. They're like, oh, they're hooking, I'm gonna move in. But like I did earlier with the one, when I move in, I had to slow down to get it to continually make the right shape. So I wanna know, what's your like natural move when you guys 10-pin? Do you move in? Do you move right? Do you throw it harder, slower? What do you guys normally do? If you like leave a corner pin, what's your move? Because mine would be to move in a little bit and slow the speed down. And if that didn't work, I would loft it. I mean, that's exactly what I wanted to do. I created a little more down lane angle, and now I'm just gonna move in too. So I 7-pinned, and then I moved in and I 8-pinned, and now I'm gonna keep moving in off that 8-pin, because I love down lane motion.
Of the 3, that is the worst ball reaction to me.
Yeah,
of
the 3, I'd agree.
When you're laying it down quick, the ball's too early.
Yes.
And then when you get it out there with a little more speed and a little more loft, the ball's too sharp.
I would probably choose this one after I move 2. And I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna move 2 and then I'm gonna 3-bagger real quick. And that is like ideal motion for me, but like to your eyes, that looks like probably too much effort.
You have the talent to make those adjustments, as a lot of professional bowlers do.
Yeah.
But especially a league, if you can pick up a ball and go back to your base and have a better ball reaction,
Brutal
why wouldn't
collision.
you? Yeah.
Brutal collision was like, normally I like to throw it a little harder, keep it a little straighter. Don't rip me in the comments, please. Keep it a little straighter, even though I'm throwing it, hooking it. But that would be like the most natural release, natural ball motion for me, where I wouldn't have to loft it and throw it slower and make sure I get the right hand at the bottom, all that stuff. Like this one and the one I had to trick a little bit. The brutal collision was like natural game, go throw it, hits the pocket and strikes every time. 8-pin. This is my favorite ball reaction. Obviously, that's not the ball for right now. It needs more oil on the lane. All right, so that was my little spiel on the 3 best balls for some heavy or some wet oil conditions, where these ones are gonna come into play and they're gonna come out of my bag. That one, it's gonna be first ball out the bag. That brutal collision allows me to play my natural game, and that coda needs a little more oil than is out right here, and probably a sport shot if I had to guess. But for you guys, it's probably gonna come into play definitely with more of your natural game, where my rev rate kind of takes over and makes that ball break loose down lane. So for you guys, let me know again down below in the comments what ball either you have currently at the top of your bag or what ball you're looking forward to getting to next. And until the next one, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget, click that subscribe button, like the video, do all that stuff that helps us out, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.